Thanks for joining me. Welcome back to Ryan Jacobson Weather. I hope you have a good St. Patrick's Day today. Let's get right into the forecast for today. And as you can see, that major weather system is finally moving off the coast and into Canada, and that severe weather threat is now over across the U.S. as it was a pretty long last few days for severe weather, as hundreds of storm reports have came in over the last couple of days. In tomorrow's video, I'm going to be doing expectations versus reality. We're going to be talking about the severe weather threat and how the storm, kind of what was expected with this severe weather outbreak to what actually occurred and how it evolved. So I'll be breaking that down tomorrow in another video. But let's get back into the forecast for today. As you can see behind the storm, it looks pretty quiet across most of the U.S. And that will stay pretty the same for the next couple of days. But we are expecting a storm by the middle of this week. So here's the GFS model, and this is the current radar right now. This is the 060 run. You can see there is going to be a low pressure that develops here across just right off the coast, basically, and that will enhance the rainfall across portions of Long Island and even the eastern part of Massachusetts, and that'll continue all the way into tomorrow. So there will be some rain there, but other than that, it's going to be pretty quiet across most of the U.S. But here's our next major player, 991 millibar low pressure system, another strong storm coming out of the Rockies. You can see this is going to bring snow across most of the West. This includes portions of Wyoming, the Rockies in Colorado, even the mountains in Utah and Arizona, going into Idaho and Montana as well. So there could be some decent snow for a lot of these high terrain areas across the Rockies out west. This is going to Tuesday afternoon here. And you can see 986 millibar low pressure. So this thing's going to strengthen pretty quickly as well here, right out of the Rockies. And 982, this is going to Wednesday morning. And you're going to see the swath of snow here develop on the north side of this low. Looks like it's going to try to cut back in a little bit. We'll strengthen it, but also bring more precipitation to the north side of this low. And you can see there's going to be a pretty decent strip of snow across portions of Nebraska. It looks like the northern part of Iowa, southern Minnesota, and northern Wisconsin, maybe even the UP of Michigan. And this could result in a pretty decent snowstorm for those areas. Again, the track is still not 100% set in stone, but somewhere in that general area that I just outlined, I think there's definitely the possibility for, you could say, a major snowstorm going into Wednesday into Thursday morning here. And then after this, that low pressure continues to the east. Not really severe weather is expected with the storm. The ingredients just really aren't in place, and the storm's going to be nothing like what we just saw. But again, that snowstorm potential is there with the storm for sure. This is going to Thursday here. And there may be a little bit of another cold front develop here. Could trigger some thunderstorms and showers across the eastern seaboard. And this is interesting. This is really the second, or I guess you could say the second run that the GFS has painted this. A 998 millibar low pressure system developed here right along the coast. You can see there's some cold air on the backside of the system. And watch what it does here. This low pressure system is going to go up the coast, and you're going to see some snow here. It could be some heavy snow develop on the backside of this system. And this would be interesting. This would almost cause like a nor'easter, you could say. 992 millibar low pressure system, heavy snow. So this would be like more classic look. But again, I don't believe this really one bit at all. This is only the second model run that the GFS has showed an idea like this. And I just don't think there's going to be really enough cold air in place to really have a major snowstorm in the Northeast. And you can't put too much stake into it until you see it 3, 4, 5 model runs in a row, kind of showing the same picture. So again, a point of interest there. We'll be watching that closely, but it is interesting that the GFS is trying to show a little bit of a Northeast snowstorm going into the end of this week. And then going into this weekend here, it looks like you're going to have another week, just a very weak system, bringing in maybe some scattered snow showers and rain showers across the Midwest. Those look to be fizzling out by the time you go into Sunday. And then here's our next major storm going into Sunday afternoon. Again, take this with a grain of salt. Who knows what this will actually look like, as we are a little less than a week out from this. So I'm not going to go any farther than this. You cannot trust anything on the models more than a week out. Here's your temperatures expected over the next couple of days. You can see today it's going to be pretty chilly across most of the Northeast. Highs here in central New York are expected only to reach around 40 degrees in some areas and even below that. And the higher elevations may not go above freezing. This is going into this evening here. And tomorrow, though, it's going to rebound nicely across most of the U.S. Look at this. Tuesday looks to be a beautiful day across most of the U.S. You're looking at 60s for most of the country east of the Rockies. So it's going to be a very, very pleasant day. This is going to Wednesday here, and there's that system. You can see that hook. There's that low pressure developing. There's that cold air on the north side of that low. This is Thursday here. You can see there's how that cold air comes in place. And is there enough cold air for that low pressure, and then cold air here in the upstate New York, and will it cut in enough to bring precipitation back into the Northeast? Time will tell, but again, I'm not really fully buying that idea yet. Cold air back in place here, and it looks like that cold air is going to be a little bit more stronger than what we're seeing today going into tomorrow. It could last for a couple of days, but I think it's going to warm up after that. This is going into Sunday, and this is your highs as of now expected for next Sunday. So a little bit cooler across most of the country, looks like going into this next week, but still not going to be anything like what we saw in January and February. Here's your total precipitation expected over the next couple of days. Let me play this forward for you guys. You can see there's that storm going through the Rockies. And there's that precipitation across the Midwest, and there's that swath of snow that would be. There's that second swath showing up here on the GFS run, more precipitation. This is going to Saturday here. So, again, the two areas that could see some heavy precip from this would be obviously the Midwest and portions of the Northeast. And this is going through Sunday afternoon, and there's that maybe next storm developing across the central U.S. Here's the snowfall expected over the next couple of days here. As you can see, there's that storm impacting portions of the west, and there could be some decent snow across the Rockies and definitely portions of Wyoming. The high mountainous terrain there could see maybe excess of 2 feet of snow possible, especially the Sierra Nevada. You could be looking at totals maybe up to 30 inches there across the Sierra Nevada. And then there's that swath of snow, and it could be like, I'm not fully buying in on the totals yet, but it could be 12 to maybe even 16 inches in this swath of snow extending from northeastern Nebraska into the UP of Michigan. And there, I could say maybe the main spot would be the UP of Michigan with maybe some lake effect enhancement, I guess, where maybe some areas up there could maybe see up to 2 feet of snow. That is a possibility with this storm. But again, we'll keep tracking this every day for you guys and let you know when we get closer what we're really expecting for snowfall totals with this event. And then this is where it tries to do something here across the Northeast here. And you can see it lays down a pretty nice area of snow here across portions of eastern New York going into the northern New England region and then again in the northern Maine. Again, not buying this fully yet, but it's highlighting the potential for maybe a northeast snowstorm going into the end of this week. So I thank you guys all for stopping by. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And just keep checking back for daily updates, and I'll keep you posted with the weather ahead. So I appreciate it. Have a good one.